Thank you.
Mr. Reminder, turn yourself on to vibrate off or mute, and we'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
A little tight in here, huh?
Yeah.
So first of all, you got to give Northwestern credit. Tough place to play. Fitz knows this place better than anybody. You know, the weather conditions are always a factor here, whether it's rain or whether it's wind. That's something I'm going to do a study on, you know, over maybe the last 10 years here, field position, direction of where things are going, because Fitz knows this place better than anyway. You saw at the end of the quarter there, he burned a timeout to keep the wind and things like that. But overall, we came on the road against a tough opponent in a tough venue and found a way to get a win. Can't give our defense enough credit. You know, I think after last season, kind of the storyline was the exciting offense. And I'm pleased with our offense. We're scoring enough points to win, which is the most important thing. But our defense has been playing unbelievable, you know, really well. I would say shutout football. The only criticism that I would say is our twos went in late in the game and did not live up to the standard that we have overall. But obviously hard to critique. Our guys are playing really well. The coaching staff is doing an unbelievable job. Our special teams has been solid all year long. We've made a lot of growth there in the last 3.5 years. So I'm proud of what we're doing there on special teams. And then offensively, obviously everybody spent the entire offseason coming up with a game plan to limit us offensively and to limit Saquon Barkley. But the thing that's great is we have enough weapons that people are going to overload the box, or they're going to have that linebacker to the field. They're either going to late blitz them or late fold them back in, and we're going to have to throw the ball. And I think at one point, Trace completed 15 straight passes against what we call free access, soft coverage on the corners. And it's we're in a situation where it's almost like you got to pick your poison. I get it. People are going to try everything they possibly can, not allow Saquon Barkley to beat you, but it creates just a lot of opportunities for other guys. So I'm pleased with where we're at and the progress we've made. We won, the metrics that we talk about all the time. We won the field position battle today, our 40 compared to their 22. The turnover battle, we had 0, they had 3. Penalty battle, we had 3, they had 8, and then explosive plays, we had 11, they had 6. And obviously when you win those metrics, you're going to be difficult to deal with. So I'm pleased with where we're at. We'll enjoy this win for a couple hours, and then we'll go into the bye week. I'm not going to answer any questions about the next opponent because I know everybody's just itching to ask me. We're going to enjoy this win for a few hours, and we're going to go into the bye week. The bye week will be about our academics. The bye week will be about getting as healthy as we possibly can be. There'll be a little bit of young player development as part of our bye week. They'll have their own practice. And then obviously we'll spend some time cleaning up things that have given us issues on offense, defense, and special teams. What are the themes? What are the things that we see that everybody's doing against us, our offense? What are the themes that everybody's trying to do against our defense that's given us some problems? Let's clean those things up and then obviously get a head start on that next opponent.
James, why do you think the defense has been so much better, so successful today, the first half of the season? Increased speed, experience, what?
I think it's all those things. We're very experienced on defense, especially in the secondary. We're faster as a defense, there's no doubt about it. I think we're playing with some confidence. And I think we got the best coaching staff in the country, when I'm talking about assistant coaches. So I think it's just a combination of all those things. It's not really one thing. If you look at us, we don't really have one thing that we're just overpowering people with. It's not really necessarily just our D-line or just our linebackers or just our secondary. It's a little bit of all those things. I think we're playing really good complementary football, offense, defense, and special teams. But I'd also say the same thing specific to our defense. Our D-line, our linebackers, and our secondary are all fitting correctly and complement one another to play really good sound defense. And we're not like, when you watch us, we're not a suffocating defense where we take like every yard away on the field. But the most important thing is we keep people out of the end zone and we create turnovers. And then on offense, we do a pretty good job protecting the football. And so that's a pretty good combination.
You kind of touched on this. Does it matter that this team is more balanced, and you would agree it's more balanced? Does that make you feel better that it's last year was offensive fireworks, took all the headlines? Does it matter to you that this team has a little of each, a balanced offense, defense.
Yeah, because I think what happens, I think for the two points I'll make here. The first thing is I think we were better on defense last year than people give us credit for. We don't win the Big Ten championship without that. But I do think your point is exactly right. You know, when you're playing at a pretty high level, I would say we're playing winning football in all three phases: offense, defense, and special teams. And when you're able to do that, you know, there could be a week where one of the units isn't playing as well as they should, and you still have a chance to overcome it because you got 2 of the 3 that are playing well. So yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it. Obviously, we want to play each week all 3 winning football, but it creates a little bit of wiggle room for you, whether it's a matchup, you know, that's not good, someone we're playing or whatever it is. You know, if you win 2 out of the 3 phases, you know, you got a chance.
James, you've talked a lot about dividing the season into, say, thirds or different parts. You're obviously at the halfway point now. Can you talk about the momentum you've established, especially with the bye and the season breaking the way it is for you?
Okay. I think I actually made one comment about the thirds. I wouldn't say I've talked about it a lot. I made one comment, but yeah, I think we're in a good place. I mean, you know, if you had said, you know, going into the season that going into the bye week you'd be 6-0. Yeah, you'd take that. You'd be pleased with that. Obviously, there's no doubt about it. You know, so we still got a lot of work to do. I do think our team is playing with a lot of confidence right now, especially in our secondary and on the defensive side of the ball. We have some things that we got to get better at and we got to improve. But you know, I think we're in an ideal situation. We're 6-0 going into the bye week, and you know, an opportunity to continue to get better, you know, each week as the season goes on. Identify our problems, be honest about what our problems and areas that we need to be better at, and you know, and attack them this bye week, get a head start on our opponent, and then have a really good game week of preparation.
James, how do you size up?
2 sacks.
How do you size up the play of the O-line? Gave up a bunch of sacks, but again, you said you scored a bunch of points. As you go into this bye week, what are your kind of thoughts on that offensive line?
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously you critique it, because you'd like to not give up any sacks and you'd like to rush for more yards and all those types of things. So we have got to improve there. But again, you know, we're critiquing a Big Ten win on the road where we scored 31 points and basically played shutout football. So do we have to get better? Yes. Nobody knows that more than our offensive staff. Nobody knows that more than our offensive line and Matt Limegrover, who will do a great job. But you know, I feel like we're at the right point right now to go into the bye week and say, hey, these are the things that we need to improve on from an individual perspective, from a fundamental perspective, from a technique perspective. You know, obviously everybody's back, so you know we had the guys last year to win at a high level, and we need to build on that for this year. So you know we need to get that playing at a little bit higher level. There's no doubt.
James Shakatoni had 2 sacks today, forced a fumble. What did you see from him today, and what have you seen in his improvement in recent weeks?
Well, I think Sean has done a really nice job with his development. I think we're using him smart. You know, we don't have him out there very often on first and second down. He's growing into that. We're using him in obvious passing situations or third down and medium to long, and allowing him to play and do what he does best. As the season goes on, he'll grow into more of a first and second down player. You know, it's a combination of experience, it's a combination of game reps, it's a combination of training table and getting a few more pounds on him. It's a combination of all those things. So, but he's a disruptive guy. I think I told you guys maybe in the spring or an off season that, you know, you're going to look at him and you're going to say this guy's not, you know, a D end in the Big Ten, and we probably all need to change what our picture of what a Big Ten defensive end is, because he's extremely powerful, he's extremely explosive, and he's just got a knack for getting on the edge of people. You know, so you know, I think he's got a bright future long term, but we need that. We need to be able to get pressure on the quarterback more consistently, and he's the guy that brings that.
James, what does it say about Saquon that in your offense that he can get bottled up on a number of carries, and then boom, he goes for 50 yards? What does that say about his ability, his patience, and your offense's ability to overcome some things, even if the defense is doing it?
Well, I think it's a combination of all those things. I think we got obviously the most explosive player in college football. We have an offense that doesn't panic. You know, we got coaches that don't panic. It's not like we start getting frustrated when things aren't working as well as we would like, and we just kind of stick with the game plan. And I think the other thing that helps is our defense helps us do that. You know, our defense helps us, you know, allows us to stay patient because, you know, how well we're playing on that side of the ball. The fact that we're using on special teams helps a little bit. But I think the other thing is Saquon doesn't get frustrated. You never see bad body language. You never see him coming to the sideline. You never see him fussing at the O-line. I see it all the time. There's a tackle for a loss, and the running back spikes the ball down on the field and is yelling at the line or yelling towards the sideline or whatever it is. You know, we don't do that, but it starts with him. You know, he's, you know, I told you guys this before. He's never once asked for the ball more. He's never, you know, said, you know, give me more opportunities, give me more touches. Never once. He's never fussed at his linemen. It's all been positive support. He's never fussed at the coach. He's never fussed at anybody. You know, he knows if he stays patient and sticks with what we do, his plays are going to come. And if they don't, somebody else will make plays to allow us to win. So, you know, he's an unselfish guy that gets the big picture. You know, in a circumstance that probably most guys wouldn't. A lot of attention on Saquon Barkley right now, and Saquon Barkley's focus and attention is on the team.
Yeah, James, you mentioned the anticipation teams have had for him. How do you guys balance preparing for that and maybe adjusting with also, hey, he's our best player, we got to get him out there and give him the ball?
Yeah, I think we have enough things in the offense to get him the ball. That it's just naturally going to happen. You know, we're not really in a situation where we have calls where we're handing the ball off to him no matter what. It's RPO. You know, we're reading those things. I do think we got some stuff that we have saved for the second half of the year. You know, that we haven't showed a whole lot. You know, that you know, I think will help. I think it'll help us. You know, there's no doubt about it. But yeah, I think you know, for us, we just stay patient and just keep distributing the ball, because if you're going to put that extra guy in the box, or you're going to fold the field linebacker in late, or you're going to blitz the field backer off the edge, which is kind of the MO of what everybody's doing, or rushing the DNs up the field, you're creating, you know, pretty good throwing situations, either free access or they're going to press you. And now you have to match up with our guys man to man, and we got some pretty talented wide receivers. So pretty good situation. Mike Gesicki was able to play today. I know that was a big concern of your guys, especially when I wouldn't answer the question. But he was able to play today, and then go into the bye week and be healthy for next week. So there's another weapon for us.
James,
time for two more.
You felt compelled, and so did Joe, to defend Trace this week and Joe last week. How would you assess how he played today, and how is he playing this season?
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I would necessarily agree with the question. I didn't. It's not like I came into the press conference and brought it up. I mean, somebody asked me.
You recited the numbers, though, pretty
Oh,
quickly.
I was ready. Yeah, I was ready. Because Chris had showed me a couple articles during the week. So, yeah, I had my ammunition ready for when the question came. And I think, you know, I answered it pretty easily. You know, so, you know, I'm pleased with what he's doing and his development. All the numbers reinforce that. 15 straight completions today, which I think is a school record. Pretty good.
James, as a former quarterback yourself, when he's in that 15 completion run, what are you saying? I mean, have you ever been in that zone before, and what's it like?
Me?
Yeah.
No. No. But, you know, to be honest with you, I didn't even know that until after the game. You know, I didn't even know that was happening. You know, I think for us, I kind of have a personality. Although I wanna enjoy the positives, and I wanna you know, be as positive as I possibly can. You guys know I focus on the throws that we miss. You know, I focus on the runs that we could have had if we sustained the block a little bit longer, things like that. So you see a lot of times I'm looking up at the Jumbotron to try to see the replay to see if what I thought happened actually happened. But yeah, I think he's playing really well. You know, I don't know if I've ever thrown 15 straight completions, even in my backyard with a buddy. You know, so I'm the last person to ask about knowing what that feels like.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll do the players out
Thank you.
here outside under the stands.
Oh,